me, Sludge. Follow strongest leader.
Okay, here's a look at Magic Square's MS-B58 Brontosaurus. So here's a quick look at the front of the box with the nice artwork there, but he has yellow toes, and you could see the figure, he has gray toes, which are more tune accurate. And the back of the box, you get a nice scenery there, and text spec, which is nice. And the side of the box, you get a silhouette of him in his alt mode, and the other side you get that same image of him in robot mode. Top of the box, Magic Square's logo, bottom words and stuff. So that's a look at the box. And just real quick, this is again another figure I got from Shozy Store, who always does a nice job with their packaging, what I like to call their trash bag, to cover the box to protect it from moisture and rain, and also they put the corner protectors to protect the box from getting damaged. And they always, for the most part, they give you the nice stickers that have the Beast Wars stickers also. So that's that. And now here's just a quick look at the figure, so you could see this. This is cool. Magic Square always does a really nice job of cleaning up the figure and capturing a lot of the toon aesthetics, but we'll just go over that after go over everything that you get. So first, as always, you get the instructions, and I'll tell you, this one yeah, I think people might need some help with the instructions, just to make sure you transform it correctly without any breakage, because I do see some issues with the figure where, you know, things can break, but, you know, I'll point that out. But in terms of the accessories, you do get a nice sword, which is nicely painted with a yellow handle, and you do get his handgun, nicely sculpted, nicely painted. And I did want to point this out. This is cool. You see this? They put a little cavity here on the back of the gun, so you can have him holding it. That goes over the toe right there. So I thought that was a really nice touch, because other than that, you see the other figures that made this figure. Yeah, that's always one issue, is the toe gets in the way. But just want to point that out. That's a really nice touch. They just made a little cavity there. And then you do get alternative hand. These are always nice, but yeah, I don't know how much you're going to use it, because you can't really transform it with this open hand. But just to show you what that looks like, I did already attach it. So yeah, it looks nice. So you can get some nice pictures or stop motion if that's your thing. And then last, we do get those googly eyes from that from the scene in the movie. But I'll tell you that you have to be really careful with this. If you could see, you know, the little pegs that go in there, they're really thin, and because of this type of plastic, and because the tolerance is really tight, if you just kind of force it in without being careful, you might break it. So I'm just giving you heads up warning there. Just, you have to be careful when putting this together. So that's a look at the accessories. And then last, as always, my favorite, the bio card. So you could see what this looks like. It's just the same nice artwork, but he has the yellow toes, which is not toon accurate. And the back, the nice silhouette, and the text spec. So that's a look at everything that you get. So now let's just take a closer look at the figure. Well, let me just do this as I'm kind of talking. Let me just take this out so I can also show you that this is not really easy to take these out. Well, taking it out's easier, but it's a little harder to put this in, because you could see it does have that swivel here, so it's kind of moving around as you're trying to put it in. So there's a little challenge. but this one should be easier to put in because it's not wobbling. But just thought I'd show you that. Okay, so first let's take a close-up look at his head, because this is very tune accurate. I know someone on the Facebook group pointed out something, or was asking a question, how does this compare with the New Age head? And you know, I left my comment letting you know that this one is more tune accurate, and this one, the head does look nicer. And when I carefully looked at the G1 toy, which I probably bring out, this is kind of like sculpted more like off the G1 toy head. So that kind of makes sense, because you know, New Age made so many paints of this figure. But this one, because he has that really long jaw, this is very tune accurate. I mean, that's what he looks like. And that's actually how I always remembered him, because I always wondered, why is his jaw so big? But that's tune accurate. So that's a look at his head, and the head is on a ball joint, so you know, you can do the whole movement, up, down, rotate, side to side, all around. Shoulders also on a ball joint, so it can go out to the side, forward and back. And some areas the tolerances are really tight, and other areas they're like really loose, so that's a little frustrating, the inconsistency with the tolerance when you're manipulating this figure. But here you also get a butterfly joint, which is cool. And I'm not sure if they're doing this for articulation or part of the transformation, because you do need to kind of use this butterfly joint to help transform it, to get things out of the way. But you do get a butterfly joint, so that's cool. And then you do get a bicep swivel here. You do get a nice double jointed elbow bend, and his hand, because it's on that ball joint, you know, you can rotate. I think that's body, you can only rotate, but you could swap out for the open hand. And then the waist, you do get a nice friction waist swivel. You don't get a ab crunch, but you can kind of fake it with the legs going up. And the legs, they don't go up that far, they just go up about maybe 40 degrees. And then you do get a knee bend, and I could tell it feels a little loose, but I like that there's a screw there, so just in case you can tighten it up. It is a little loose. And you do get thigh swivel, and then it rotates here. This is for transformation. And the foot, you do get ankle tilt, but no, well, yeah, you can get a toe tilt down, but not really a toe tilt up. So that's articulation. So now let's do this just so we can get a comparison. Let's compare this with the animation model, and you could see how well they captured the toon aesthetics. And they, you know, it's the same. Magic Square does a really nice job capturing the toon aesthetics, all the little details here. You have to zoom in to see the details. You can see yeah, they did a really nice job capturing the toon aesthetics. And the back also, I like the way they cleaned up the back, the way the Brontosaurus head kind of goes in a little bit more, so it's not hanging down on his butt. So yeah, they did a really nice job. So that's a look at the figure. I just kind of noticed this right now. It's like, this would have been cool if this could have opened this up like the original G1 toy, but it doesn't. So that's a look at the figure. And for comparison, let's bring out New Age version, and let's just take a look at these two. And I'm not going to go through all of the details, because you know me, I'll just end up going on and on. But for the first, you could see that this is interesting how New Age is actually taller than Magic Square. So that's one difference that stands out. And of course, because New Age, you know, it always paints their figure. It has that nice paint finish. There is some die cast in here, and the quality of the plastic is much better. The design is easier to transform, but there are also the differences. So one, I already told you about the head. So this head is kind of a little bit more like the Toon head that they just colored more the G1 cartoon. And this one's kind of like more straight up the Toon accuracy head. And some other differences between these two. Just trying to think how to... obviously, Magic Square always cleans up much better. You could see the inner part of the legs. And then with New Age, this one's actually not as bad as their Grimlock. But yeah, yeah, that's another difference. Magic Square always cleans up a little bit better. And then it, you know, the finish here, this kind of like flat look to it, because there's no paint on here. You know, that bothers some people. Some people like me, you know, I don't really mind because it just kind of looks more like the cartoon this way. So yeah, there's some differences. And just bring out one more comparison here. Here is the original G1 Grimlock. So you could see all the little sticker details here that comes with the always with the G1, even back here. And maybe I'll just say this. So that's why I don't buy the New Age other versions, their X versions and stuff, because if I already have the G1, why do I need to get another one, even though it would obviously be better? But just wanted to share that. But yeah, here's a look at all three. And you could see this one, yeah, it doesn't stand up too well. But yeah, it's interesting. They're all, it's like they're the same height as the original G1. But yeah, New Age and Magic Square, all with the new designs and stuff, just totally blows this one away. So let's get him out and just have one last look here before we go ahead and transform these guys into alt mode. Yeah, I really like both of these figures. They you know, have their differences, but you know, I can never say one's better than the other. I just always point out the differences, and there are some issues with the Magic Square, like a lot of people already pointed out. But that's a look at a comparison. So now let's go ahead and transform this into his alt mode and take a look at that. Okay, here's a look at the alt mode, and first let's compare this with the animation model. And you could see, as usual, they do a really nice job capturing the Toon aesthetics. I mean, all the little detail here, this kind of puzzle shaped piece here with the painted details here on the bottom. So yeah, they always do a nice job capturing all of the details from the cartoon. And even the back, you know, nothing special to point out about the back, but yeah, it's they did a nice job. But in terms of form and function, as you could see his legs here, this is the one major issue with this figure. No, one issue with this figure is the tolerance here is really not so good on the legs. And you can kind of get around it. I mean, if you have him on all fours, or you can even have him on three legs, but he'll still stand. But the issue is the inconsistency with the tolerance, because you could see here the arm, the tolerance here is really tight, but here the legs, they're really loose. So that's actually not good in terms of the tolerance throughout this figure. It's very inconsistent. But other than that, you know, it's a nice looking figure. You don't have the tail articulation, and this one also you don't have the ability to swap out for the red eyes, which I don't mind because I really don't like the red eyes. But what they did give you is the option to give those googly eyes from the cartoon. So you just pull that off, and then yeah, he does kind of look a little funny here. Or maybe that's why his legs are so loose, so you can kind of replicate that scene where he gets smashed by Devastator. But yeah, that's if you like this. I don't really want that on there, so let's put this back on. And just something else I could show you. You do have a little slot there for some blast effects or flame effects, but they didn't give you any, unfortunately, so you can't really make use of it. I'm sure you could find some other blast effects from some other figures to kind of do something, but yeah, I think this is a good opportunity for them to, you know, maybe give some nice blast effects, like maybe some transparent blast effects, but that would be a little too expensive. So now let's compare this with the New Age. And of course, I see the difference right away all the time, the difference between New Age. And first of all, this is kind of interesting. The alt mode, New Age is actually a little smaller, like the way it should be, but in robot mode, it's actually just a hair bigger. So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, you could see, and again, it's just the same thing. New Age has that nice shine to it because of the paint. The plastic is better quality. There is some die cast in here. The transformation is much easier. This one's less panely than the Magic Square. And that's not to say that this is better. It's just this is different. This one has that flat matte finish, which for me doesn't. I'm not bothered by it because it just kind of looks more like the cartoon. This one just has more of like a premium toy finish to it. But other than that, yeah, there's a difference. But here with the New Age, you could swap out for the red eyes if you want, so that's kind of cool. And I don't remember, but I think New Age did give you something, or maybe they didn't, so you could put in there. So that's just a difference. And for one more comparison, let's bring out the original G1. So yeah, this is interesting how these are all like the same size, but Magic Square and New Age, they just did a better job on designing the figure to look a lot more like the cartoon. And that's not to say that this is bad, because this still has some nice nostalgia feeling to it. So it's you know, it's good from that point of view. But yeah, it doesn't really fit in the collection today, so he needs to go. But here's a look at the figure in his Dino alt mode. Okay, now that I have him back in robot mode, my final thoughts. Overall, I really like this figure a lot, even though there are definitely some issues here, such as you know, the transformation design here is pretty much the same as like a lot of their other figures. It's very complicated, but this one in particular, you have to kind of really be careful and know what you're doing, because you might accidentally pop things off or might even break things. But yeah, other than that, you know, I really like this because you know, they do a really nice job capturing all of the toon aesthetics and cleaning up this figure. Yeah, so that's my final thoughts in terms of Magic Square's version of Sludge. But compared to New Age, this one, it's New Age always has the same design. You know, it looks really nice. It has a premium finish with the paint that feels better with the quality of the plastic and the die cast, and the transformation is always easier than Magic Square, so it does make it a little more fun to play with the New Age. But yeah, and again, this is not a versus, that's just pointing out the difference. So it really just depends on what your preference is. And for me, I like the toon aesthetic, but both of these capture the toon aesthetic, just little details here and there. So I actually like both. And I didn't bring out the Grimlock, but I brought them out now just so you could see what these two guys look like together. And man, I'm really looking forward to getting the Sludge. And so you could see the consistency is what matters the most. So as long as they're, you know, the same design, you know, like this one has no paint finish, but it cleans up really well on both of them. They look really good together. And that's not to say that the New Age is bad, because the New Age, you know, they have their own design, which keeps these two very consistent. So you could see these have the nice paint finish. It has the nice glossy shine to it. So again, I actually like both of them. I'm collecting both of them. But in terms of this figure by Magic Square, MS-B58 Brontosaurus, this is a really nice figure. Cleans up really well, looks really great in both modes. So that's my final thoughts. This is another great figure by Magic Square. This one does have little issues here and there, but you could work around it. And I know this is going to look great with the rest of the Dinobots.
Leader no more. Oh, Sludge-like.
Snarl-like too, Sludge. Like old bonds.